I have a couple of guests today, and I want to begin our show with our first celebrity author, and she is from right here in Detroit. I'm so glad that she came in today. Dawn Martin joins us in the F Club. Hi, Dawn. How are you today?
Hi. Thank you so much for having me here, Ramona.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
You're beautiful, too.
And you are, too.
Well, I appreciate it. Never take your glasses off, just in case whatever you're looking through, anointing, it wears off. But I'm bumping. Just kidding. But, Dawn, I love the title of this book. And it's one of those things that makes you think, like, wait a minute. It's a spin off the old saying that, nice girls finish. Well, I guess bad girls finish first most times in a row. Is that the truth?
Absolutely not.
So fast girls finish last is the title of the book.
Yes.
And it's a girl's guide to becoming a virgin with an attitude.
That's correct.
That's amazing. Now, again, somebody's scratching their head in the car as they're driving. How is that possible? And what was the motivation for the book?
Okay. Let me address, firstly, my motivation was I was on all these talk shows. Basically, they were titled "Is Being Beautiful Occurs, Gorgeous, Glamorous, and Alone," and I talked about celibacy, and things kind of snowballed.
Okay,
and I received so many letters from people all over the world, and guys too, and a lot of girls asking me, "When is your book gonna come out? And are you gonna write a book? Where can I buy the book?" And I'm like, I don't have a book, and I didn't take it seriously until my now estranged sister said, "You need to write a book."
Wow.
And so because I studied journalism and I like to keep my life organized like everyone else, I keep a pen and paper by my bed.
Okay.
So one day I remember it was like 4:00 in the morning. I was half asleep and something said "Fast Girls Finish Last." And I wrote this title down. And when I got up to step out of my bed, I said, "Oh." And I looked at it and said, "Oh, Fast Girls Finish Last." That's the title of my book.
I love it.
So that's how the title came about.
So, and you would know, only because the industry that you've worked in, and you've been around a lot of glamorous, beautiful people most of your life. You're a former model, Days of Our Lives actress. Most of you guys may remember Dawn from Days of Our Lives. You are stunning. It's amazing. And I know you probably have access or have had a front row seat to all of the joys, benefits, as well as downfalls and pain of the glamorous life.
I think being beautiful, when I think of beauty, I think of inside. But physically, I think
the more common version.
I think it's I think it's like having a curse. And I just want to say, a lot of times I'm not in tune with what I look like. So when I react to people, I'm like, "Oh, you do? You do think..."
Were you ever, though? I mean, is this a revelation for you?
No, I don't go around carrying a mirror in front of me when I'm walking all the time. I don't go around staring at myself.
Well, no, I understand that that's where you are, but you're living in a world where people view you and they say, "Oh my God, you're beautiful," since you're a young girl. Were you ever cognizant of, "Oh my God, I'm different than other people," or people are treating me differently based on my appearance?
People definitely treat me differently when I dress up and I accentuate whatever assets I have. Well, the first thing I want to say is that I have absolutely nothing to do with what I look like.
Absolutely, none of us do.
I am just a janitor for Jesus' property.
How about that?
This temporary vehicle that I'm in.
How about that?
So if anyone has issues with that, they need to take it up with my mother and my father.
How about that? Or the gene pool.
I never really felt, when I was in the beauty pageants, yes, because I had to prance across stages with, in swimsuits and things. Then, and
that was a part of it. That's a part of why you're there.
Then I was more cognizant of my appearance. But I might, it might be because my mother never, she never made me feel like I was, she never really kept saying to me, "Oh, you're so pretty."
Yeah.
She never really focused on that.
So you came out of the home, though, with a pretty balanced idea of yourself and your identity, not based on your physical appearance.
That's true.
And but my house was like that a lot, too. We didn't know what we looked like. People would tell me, "You have dimples." And I was in high school, like, "Where was a dimple?" I would really, no kidding, I know that sounds crazy, but I would look in the mirror like, what is a dimple? I didn't even know what a dimple was. First of all of us had it.
Wow.
Had them, so I wasn't different than anybody else in the house.
I see.
But I use that example just to say how unaware we were of physical attributes. We never talked about anything.
Are you unaware of your beautiful skin? It's flawless.
I just got this skin a couple of months ago, thanks to my dermatologist.
I don't know. It's flawless.
I appreciate it, but Amanda will tell you my struggles with adult acne, and I have a great dermatologist. And the last few months, I've come through a change. Oh, bless his name on tonight.
Well, under these bright lights, I'm looking at it.
Thank you.
Closely, and it's really perfect.
Thank you. Beauty products and water and vitamin A. Amen.
Wow. You know, I do want to add that, if anything, my mother did not focus on compliments at all. It was criticism of me.
Really? So did that make you, did that work the opposite effect? Did you have less self-esteem? Did you feel like you weren't beautiful because of the criticism?
No, because I knew, I could go to a mirror. It didn't. It just made me feel like I had to work on bettering myself.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing, but that might have been something that had kept you balanced and saved you for your life. You know what I mean? Like if you fed into it,
I understand.
If you were unbalanced, leaving the house about how gorgeous you were, and then you wouldn't have that side to say, maybe my legs or maybe my...
Because she'll call me back in a minute. Wait a minute, you can't go out looking like that.
Oh, that sounds like my mother.
No.
That sounds like my mother.
Let me add also, Ramona, that, to elaborate, just because you look a certain way.
One moment, please. I'm on the air, children. My kids keep calling me. This is reality radio. Kids, call Amanda. I'm on the air, okay? Call Amanda Paul. All right? Thank you. I'm sorry at first. You know how Kobe and Mike call me every day after school, and I don't know how many years got to be on the radio before they stop calling me live. Call the kids. Amen. The number in the studio, 313-298-1200 is the number. Our special guest celebrity author is Dawn Martin. She's talking about her new book, Fast Girls Finish Last, A Girl's Guide to Becoming a Virgin with Attitude, which is, I love the whole concept of that. But you were talking about how you were at home. You were a beautiful woman. You were a model. You've been, first of all, thank you for coming to the F Club radio show after you've been on Geraldo, Oprah, Montel, Donahue, after Christina.
My mother keeping me balanced.
I love that. And she just came to little old humble F Club radio show. I'm so glad that you joined us today. We're honored to have you, but also former Days of Our Lives actress. And so you've been in the world plunge with, hair, makeup, nails, everything.
Yes, I've turned down offers from producers to be their mate and so forth.
Awesome.
So forth.
I can imagine.
So, but, just to kind of elaborate on what you were saying earlier, Ramona, people think that, well, if you're beautiful, then you should have, you should as many men as you want. Okay. However, in my opinion, you may be able to catch, but that doesn't mean you should sleep or are sleeping with.
Yeah. One doesn't necessarily mean the other.
Exactly.
But for some people, that's their perception. But to me, I think it's a blessing to have choices based upon your physical appearance. And that, let me clarify what I'm saying is, because I believe you attract who you are, first of all. So whether you're a great looking person or you're a horrible person inside, you tend to attract those kind of people, no matter what your physical appearance is. Especially if somebody sits down and has a conversation with you, it's a nice house, but there's nobody home. So anybody who is of quality may be attracted to you via, what you look like. But if they're of quality too, and they sit down and speak with you, I'm like, nah, that's not what I'm looking for, and I'm not attracted to that. Exactly. It was inside, the beyond the shell. Mm-hmm. Especially here, the F Club radio show is for people in their 40s, 50s, and to forever. And we get this stage in our lives, we're supposed to be making quality decisions based on, not based on those superficial qualifications that we did in our 20s and 30s. Shout out to you 20s and 30s. So I know I'm not going to say all of you guys are fickle like that, but hopefully you're making quality decisions with regard to mates or relationships based on things deeper than the shell. So when you came up with this title, Fast Girls Finish Last, you were awake, you were asleep, you woke up, you wrote the title down, and you decided to share the secrets that prevented you from becoming the fast girl. And you want others to know about and tell girls why you need to keep your virginity. That has to be hard in that business that you're in. Was it challenging? It wasn't at all, ever?
Not with my mother.
Beautiful. So did you have a stage mom?
No.
So it just was in you.
my mother basically was a preacher.
Okay,
a mom preacher.
Okay.
Not when I say religion, not religion.
Right.
But as soon as I hit the door, she was on me. My mother threatened me.
Okay.
She bribed me and or cussed me daily.
Okay.
And as soon as I hit the school door, then the guys were on me because I was the first black majorette in the history of our high school.
And you went to school here, correct?
I went to school in Ecorse.
Okay.
I graduated from Ecorse High. I will say that I begged my mother to let me go to Ecorse High because initially I had never seen a black person until I hit our street, which was 18th Street in Ecorse.
Okay.
Because my mother and my stepfather drove us across town to an all-white Catholic school. And I never saw black people. I did have a sister, a now estranged sister, and I would wave, to her in the hallway. So,
right.
And I saw my mother just come to the nun's office with just boxes of $20 bills, and I wanted to experience the black experience. And I begged my mother. I pleaded with her, please let me go to public school, please. I pleaded for maybe a year, and finally she relented.
Okay.
And when I walked through Ecorse High, oh my goodness, I had never seen so many cute black guys in all my life. Oh my God. I fell in love at age 13 years old.
Awesome.
And wowee kazawi.
Wow, I love it.
So I think she knew what I was up against.
Okay.
And as soon as I hit the door, she never let up.
Okay. But she did let you stay in public school?
Yes, she did.
Okay. But she just was on you like right on right.
Yes.
Huh? Well, tell me, how did you do it? Because the book is about telling people how important it is to preserve your virginity. You worked in a fast-paced business with men galore and gorgeous actors that you had to hug and kiss and whatever else.
Well, you make me think of this guy I used to date. Yeah, he was a regular on Young and the Restless. Billboard model.
Okay, wow.
Famous and just, wow.
So do you just count to 10 backwards in your head every time?
We were steady. For what?
I mean, you said you kept your virginity. Did you keep your virginity throughout
through high school?
Through high school, okay. Amen.
Yes, I did graduate from high school a virgin.
I did too, as a matter of fact.
Wow, let me congratulate you.
I was 19 in my first sexual experience.
Yes.
I'm just going to share. I mean, it is what it is, and the guy knows who he is. I married him shortly after,
That's
but yes.
wonderful. Didn't it give you self-pride? Aren't you proud of that as you look back?
You know what?
I am.
I have mixed emotions. Now, I'll tell you why. Not for the obvious reasons, not for morality. It's just that I think I learned the game late in life. Like, people were able to run game on me because I was such a naive. My dad came home every day at 5:30. And so when my first husband was cheating on me and he was left and right, I didn't know. Okay. Because if he said he was out all night on a stakeout or whatever, I believed him.
I see.
Or if he was undercover, he was actually undercover. But I thought he was, undercover, working a case. So he was cheating on me left and right. But I had no idea. I don't know how long it was going on before I even knew.
But that really wouldn't have helped you not...
I just wasn't
a virgin.
Well, I just think that I was not worldly wise. I didn't have any concept of any life other than mom, dad, sister, brother, come home every day, go to church on Sunday. I had a very structured, very boring, but safe life.
Okay, but you can still, like me, graduate from high school a virgin and have a lot of street sense.
Well, I was very popular. I was class hair, class clown. I was very popular. But I did not sleep with anybody in high school. I just didn't. And I was mainly because I was afraid of my mother. She said, I can smell if you have sex. I know you. She said, Heifer, I know you'll start walking funny. And I'm serious.
Oh my God, that sounds like
my mother. Like Heifer, I can smell it.
Yep.
And so I believed her.
Yes.
I look back now and probably maybe some of that was discernment. Maybe that was just, her bullying me. But I believed whatever. And my dad said, I'm going to know. So I didn't. Because I believe my parents.
Let me add something here. One reason, maybe like 30%, of me having to graduate from high school a virgin is because I believed my mother when she said she would throw me out the house. Why? Because my now estranged eldest sister, she got thrown out the house.
Really?
Oh yes, my mother was serious. I never saw her pregnant. My mother said, no, I will not have you come in here and ruin the rest of my daughters. She threw her out.
Oh my God.
She put her in an all-Catholic home for unwed mothers. Yes, she did. My mother.
What was the name of that home? I think my sister.
I don't. Oh,
I swear.
I don't know.
What's the name of it? Something's called Mac. Starts with an M or something like that.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Because listen, my parents were old school like that too, and thank God they mellowed out over the years. Because there was 14 of us, so by the time the first 5 or 6 of us went through, we could go to prom. It was just we couldn't go to prom. We couldn't wear pants. It was crazy.
Same here.
It was
Same
to me
here.
that is just. Listen, why I didn't go crazy, I don't know. So God preserved me because my parents were off, but they here, hence. After speaking and we became adults, they acquiesced. It was like, I didn't know everything. I'm sorry. My mother she apologized because my younger sisters and brothers didn't have the same experience that we did. She says, Ramona, I'm learning on you. I've never been to school to be a mother. I don't know. So she was nice enough to tell us, a few years later, even I think we were 16, I tell this story, when we didn't speak we were like, there's no such thing as you don't speak to your mother, not in my house, but it was not cordial. Hi, Mom.
I see.
Good night, Mom. Just whatever the bare minimum was. Right? That's my baby in there. Okay, so, but she sat down and says, look, Ramona, I don't know if it's too late to go to skating. I don't know if you can't stay out all night. I don't really know. So, but I have been 16 before. So this is my first time being a mom. But if you help me be a mother, I'll help you be 16. And we were this close for the rest of our life. When she died when I was 24.
That's beautiful.
But it was something that she was able to take that shell off and be vulnerable to us.
So honest. I love it.
And thank God. I mean, we would have been cuckoo nuts if she had stayed this rigid person, I think. But thank God that's our experience. Everybody has to go through their own. But I think your mom benefited you a lot of ways, even though she might have been a very stern.
It's what I needed.
Okay.
Because
to go into the business you went into?
Well, no? It's what I needed to maintain my dignity, my pride, and not be a slut in high school. Because I remember kissing this one guy, because I like boys just as much as they like me. Some I like probably more than they like me.
I love it.
However, I remember this guy, he was just kissing me. And I heard my mother's voice just playing in my head. What's going to happen to me? He's just going to talk about you to all his friends later. And I pushed him away, and I'm like, whoa.
Wow. But that's a good thing.
So she instilled fear.
At least you have some breaks. There are young girls now that come out of the house with 0 breaks. They just do everything because there's no system of checks and balances in their head.
Right. And guess what? A bad reputation will follow them a woman the rest of their life. I ran into a male classmate recently. And what did he tell me that I didn't want to hear? He named names. Not only that, but he told me exactly what they did in high school. And I said, oh, my God, why are you sharing this with me?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I said, she did that in high school?
Yeah. Isn't it nuts?
Still bragging. And just
years later, that's crazy.
That sluttish image will stay with a girl.
It's amazing. I've met girls and who I've met them, and I had heard their reputation before I even met them.
See
and it's crazy. So it amazing. While you're shaking your hand, you're thinking, "Wow,
oh my goodness."
They say she gives a really mean DJ. I'm serious. No, I've heard that. That's the honest to God truth. And so then it became my motivation for not letting it happen to me as well. I was like, oh, that's never going to happen to me.
Exactly.
But I had 7 brothers as well, and I heard them talk about girls.
See?
So I was just like, oh, I don't want to be that kind of girl my brothers talk about with their friends while they're playing basketball. Right. That's not going to be me. So that was my motivation. Everybody has to use theirs. Does it make me a better person than somebody else? Mm-hmm. Hell no, it doesn't. Mm-hmm. But these were my breaks and my mechanisms that my parents, and I suggest every parent give their kids something to think about while they're sneaking or on the phone, or there should be some kind of check in their heads that this is the wrong thing. So, Fast Girls finished last. You said, why do you keep your virginity? Why? Why is your virginity worth fighting for? Why the word no is the best birth control, and how to create lifelong self-esteem, how to resist peer pressure. These are fantastic topics that, quite frankly, don't get dealt with enough within our music, our movies, our videos. The things that we do now, it's like every man for himself and God before us all. There are no rules. It's do what feels good to you. It's a liberation mood. And so this book comes out now in a time where society needs it. You would think people soak it up like a sponge. What's been the response?
Oh, my goodness.
Great.
First of all, I never set out to write a book. I definitely never set out to write a book about virginity. This book is by popular demand. I have been overwhelmed as far as, the response is concerned. It's been absolutely amazing and surprising to me. I ran into a woman, she's 43 years old yesterday, and she said, I purchased your book. She said, you give such good pointers about sanitation. I talk about what a woman should do with her drink. I talk about, number one, to start respecting yourself. How do you do that? By staying clean. I talk about things that women, that she said, I never even thought about doing that, but it makes so much sense.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, I'm going to tell you how you can get Dawn's book. You can get it at www.dawnmartin.com/MAIN. You know, what we'll do, it's a long email address. So what we'll do is post a link to our website, on our website, to her website at WCHBnewsdetroit.com. Are you going to be at a book signing? Yes, at Truth Bookstore tomorrow. Saturday, May 7th from 3 to 4. I love Truth Bookstore. Love Nefertiti. Hey, you guys out there, Truth Bookstore, love them. They were so kind to me. I had a book signing there about a month ago. They were fantastic. But make sure you go see Dawn. She's going to be there Saturday, May 7th from 3 to 4 at Truth Bookstore at Northland Mall. All the people that are listening to me under the sound of my voice, you guys know where Northland is, and you certainly know where Truth is. It's been there for 17 years or so, doing a fantastic job in our community. Dawn's going to be there with her book. I suggest you bring your young ladies as well. If you're an effort,
and boys, too.
And boys, okay.
But let me please say one thing about the subtitle. A Virgin with Attitude. What does that mean? That means handle your business, girls, and graduate from high school by any means necessary, meaning that you need to also take a self-defense course, karate, Krav Maga, because I remember many a day that I had to physically push a guy away that was becoming too aggressive. You know how boys can be.
Yeah.
You're attractive. They get too physical, too close, start pulling out private parts.
Yeah.
No.
And unfortunately, those are the times you realize that you're not as strong as a man.
Yes.
You may not ever realize it any time, but when you get in those kind of you realize, oh my God, if he really wanted to continue, there'll be nothing I can do to stop.
And it happens so quick.
Yes.
And then you can't get it back.
Yeah.
Take a self-defense course.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea. I never even heard people talk about that, but that's a great identity. I think it's an identity marker, and it's a great thing.
Especially with abductions today.
I love it. So again, Truth Bookstore, Saturday, May 7th from 3 to 4 p.m. You can meet Dawn Martin in person. Again, she was a former Days of Our Lives actress and model, teen beauty queen. She's gorgeous now. So it obviously has carried her into her F years. She's been on Oprah, Geraldo, Montel, Donahue, Christina, and British television, and she humbled herself low enough to come to the F Club Radio Show. I'm just so glad that you decided to make a stop here while you're in your hometown of Detroit. Now, you're in L.A. now? Are you in California?
I live in Orange County. I live in Costa Mesa.
Awesome.
If you ever come there, look me up.
Well, listen, don't say that, because I'm coming. My son now lives in Cupertino.
Oh.
So he works for Apple. So when I go visit him, I have to come up to Santa Ana as well.
I have a guest room waiting.
When I say, listen, don't tell me I'm ghetto. I'm Bugetto. So if you tell me that, I'm coming.
Yes. You'll love it.
I can't wait. I'm looking for a little break in the weather.
5 minutes from the beach.
Are you serious?
5 minutes from Newport Beach.
Girl, boom, we coming. Me and Amanda, we coming to your house and camp out.
That's
for
fine
sure.
with me.
Dawn, thank you for coming. We got to take a quick break. Again, please do not forget to attend this book sign. You can meet the author and get your book signed. I strongly suggest you get it. Parents of boys and girls, this is a must-have for your shelf. And if your girls are turning sweet 16 or sweet 13, because we celebrate 13s in our house because it's your first double digit. Your first teenage year. So we have a big blow up, kind of like a bat mitzvah for African Americans. But we do that in our homes because it's your first teenage year.
I love it.
So parents, it's a great idea to get for your nieces, nephews, nieces, daughter, teen. It's a perfect time. They can get it earlier, but it is a perfect gift for that. It's a coming of age book. But I really appreciate you coming, Dawn.
Thank you kindly.
No
so
problem.
Much for having
no problem.
Me.
Truth Bookstore, Saturday, 3 to 4. Dawn Martin, our special guest today. This is the F Club Radio Show, AM 1200 WCHB.